You never expect a job to go more than a season. 3 seasons is a success.
Part of me thought this is definitely going to run a few seasons. I don't think anybody anticipated 9 seasons.
I mean, it's rare that you get to produce a show that hits like this one has.
It's so rich of a world, there was kind of no way that it couldn't last longer than it did.
It really is a labor of love across an entire team, and I think that's what's made the series so special.
The ponies are all different colors, they're all different shapes and sizes, they come from different parts of the world, and they all love each other regardless of what they look like, and I think it's so important to be a part of something that teaches inclusion.
There is no cynicism, really. There's not a lot of sarcasm. It is very sincere.
I mean, it sets a bar very high on so many levels.
To know that it's had an effect on people all over the world, I think everybody was surprised.
It's lightning in a bottle. I'm just glad we have it.
The progression of My Little Pony really started in the 80s with a wildly successful toy line and TV show called My Little Pony.
My little pony, my little pony, what will today's adventure be?
And it was all about empowering little girls and to show the characters with kind of a depth that we had never seen before.
Twilight, will I ever fly like Firefly and Medley? No, Ember. Not all little ponies can fly.
Hasbro was looking to revitalize the brand, and they were looking for a new creative take on it to sort of modernize it, make it feel fresh, and they found Lauren Faust.
My Little Pony was my favorite toy when I was a little girl. So, when Hasbro came to me and asked me if I was interested in developing it as a TV show, I really just kind of dived right back into how I played with them. So I had this opportunity to make the show the way I wished that it was.
The new series is more expansive. It has such a deep, rich lore, which I think is a big draw for a lot of audiences.
My Little Pony was made at a time when people thought that girls of that age were not watching animation anymore. And so it was a pretty big leap of faith.
Friendship is Magic debuted on October of 2010. We were excited to create a show that could be cross-generational. Moms who grew up watching My Little Pony could enjoy the show alongside their kids and relive that wonderful experience that they had as children.
Aha! Oh, Spike, that looks delicious. Spike!
One of the things that really stood out about Lauren's vision for My Little Pony was the friendship theme. And it was such a strong theme, but it was also general enough that you could pull so many stories.
This particular version was really all about these relationships, and all the kids want to be part of Equestrian, part of this magical world that Lauren Faust had envisioned.
There's these really relatable, adorable, endearing characters. These characters have flaws.
But Twilight's taking me! Oh, I didn't
like she's coming in close to camera.
I think this show provides everyone with a template for friendship. It delves into nuances that other shows don't do.
The girls have evolved over the years. It's not one of those shows where this is someone's personality forever and ever.
What's your name? I'm Fluttershy. I'm sorry, what was that?
Like Fluttershy starts off so sweet and shy, and she still keeps who she is, but
she learns to stand
later
up for
on,
herself,
yeah.
and she then has that as a personality trait where she's stronger.
Other ponies may be experts in their fields, but animals are my field of expertise. And if I say this is what I want, then this is what needs to happen. Oh, for the animals, of course.
Almost 10 years ago, there really were not a lot of shows for girls that featured this kind of multi-dimensional character that they could relate directly to.
I think one of the things that's really cool about Pony that right away made it stand out as a different kind of show is that it was this weird mixture of really emotional storytelling, big, huge, like Star Wars, Lord of the Rings level mythology, and then Looney Tunes style humor.
Are we talking about the Grand Galloping Gala?
And that mixture and blend of all those things made it appealing to just a much wider audience than we would have expected.
I think it's a good co-viewership show. I mean, adults can watch it with kids and both can take away what they need. At core, I always think you never write to kids, you write great stories, and that gets viewership. And I think My Little Pony is a perfect example of that.
Our animation teams wanted something that both parents and kids could watch together with complete plot lines and dialogue that could really engage fans of all ages.
I think for a kid, this show brings just really positive themes and really fun characters that they can see themselves in. And I think for the adult audience, it's an escape from a world that can be kind of stressful sometimes and a little dark. And even though we deal with dark things, we know at the end of the day, like, friendship is gonna prevail over everything, and that is a world in which I would love to live in.
You did it! Only because you were here.
What is great about the show is how people of all stripes, boys, girls, old, young, could look at it and see something in it that is reflective in themselves, something they could relate to.
I think that it just tells good, honest, heartfelt stories. You know, Lauren did a really great job in setting it up. She created really strong archetypal characters, set a really good functional look for the show, and then after she moved on, you know, it was easy to take that and continue to run with it.
I think audiences keep coming back because they're cute. And they love each other so much. That's something that you want to be a part of.
What I really wanted to present in the show was that you don't always have to get along with somebody to still love them.
Hey, Pinky. Sorry I accused you of misjudging Gilda. Looks like I'm the one who misjudged you. It's okay, Twilight. Even you can't be a super smart smarty smart pants all the time.
It's fine, it's a triple. Let's leave it on one of the tracks for now.
This is 25A, take
31. I really thought I had my taste/memory formula figured out, but I was completely and totally wrong.
My favorite part about working on the show is the people that I get to work with, no question.
So, all I need to do is get Twilight to talk about a couple of memories? What do you mean, that's that? We don't have anywhere near enough memories for your section of the book. What exactly are you doing back here? Surely you have enough memories by now!
Probably the biggest challenge with voicing Twilight Sparkle is that she's often quite wordy.
We are not canceling! It's gonna be okay. It has to be okay. It's been so terrible so far that it can't possibly end up.
Sorry. And we'll have, 70 lines an episode, and because I tape by myself, I'll be catching up, and sometimes I'll do 5 episodes in a row, and your voice gets tired even if you're not screaming, if it's just you for 4 hours.
At the beginning, when we first started, I would always record Applejack first and then Rainbow Dash second, just so I could keep them separate. But over time, Applejack sort of maybe went through puberty or something. She got a little bit lower in my register.
I saw a vision of us feuding and fighting.
And then Rainbow Dash has always been a little bit higher. There's gonna be cider, squeaky, and I have to clench everything to get her voice out.
The other cast members are incredible because they have done so much work. They're doubling roles or they're playing incidental characters, and they can pull these creative beings out of nowhere, like right out of left field.
Twilight's so busy, the spa's the only place we could think of where we might run into her. Ah, Rainbow Dash! So good to see you again!
And then she remembered the time I visited Cheese Sandwich and realized what my life's purpose was.
Pinkie Pie, it's just she talks so incredibly fast.
Isn't this exciting? Are you excited? Because I'm excited. I've never been so excited. Well, except for the time that I saw you walking into town and I went...
Sometimes I'll do a line really, really fast, and then I'll get the note that no one understood anything that she just said.
First, I woke Twilight up and fed her some of this amazing cake. And then she remembered the time I rescued Ponyville from the Parasprites.
People ask me all the time if it's sped up in post, but it is not.
You were right! This decompression thing is great!
At the times when somebody else is up at the mic, you get to just enjoy it, and when it's your turn, you get to get up there and then tickle their funny bones, hopefully.
So let's do one more time and just a hair quicker on each of those.
As we work on the My Little Pony show, it really is a labor of love across an entire team.
My current team is amazing, and everybody are just so friendly. Storyboard is not the easiest job. We actually work really long hours. You have to do 900 to 1,200 panels, backgrounds and characters.
There's so much talent on this show, and that's quite a gift to have people that care about what they're making and plussing it like across the board.
Maybe try not to make it feel quite so open, but... And then I was thinking with this shot,
We're on the writing side, we kind of get the first crack at it, and we try to make the best episode we can. And then it goes to the artists and the directors. And then sight gags are being put in and little character moments that you didn't even think of. And so it's really exciting as a producer to see the animatic come back and be like, that's brilliant, I love it. And then when it goes to full animation, it's like even more amazing than I thought. And so all along the way, everyone's just kind of building on it. It's great to work with that kind of talent.
So working on this show has been really great for me, especially as a woman in this industry. Most of the shows I worked on when I was coming up were always boy leads. There were girl characters, but they were always the sidekicks. They were also had to be everything to every woman. So they were always really good at sports, but also really good at math and really smart and really funny and really everything. And yet they kind of were with these boy characters who were kind of dopes. And they always ended up being kind of the nag.
It's mostly female characters, and they aren't perfect, and they do fight with each other sometimes. They don't always see eye to eye, they don't always get along, and I think it's like a really good message. And I think that girls were able to see themselves in these characters in a way that really represented individual qualities that they could relate to.
You actually get to bring your own personal experience as a woman to these characters, and you get to bring women's perspectives to the screen, and it's just not something that happens enough.
Style, coolness, awesomeness, and radicalness. Aren't those all the same thing?
I think that there's definitely a ripple effect happening in animation. Lots of new cartoons are being made with that in mind, having just really awesome female characters.
I'm hoping that we're on the edge of a nice wave. That's this wave of women coming up in animation, because when I started, I was the only girl on the storyboard floor. And now our entire storyboard crew is women. I had a meeting one day. Every single person in there in a senior role was a woman working on a woman's show for girls. It was amazing.
So obviously it was kind of
Big adventures waiting, obviously.
One of the most exciting things about helming the show has been really working with an incredible cast and crew.
We talk about like lightning in a bottle, just like the right people coming together. You have really good dynamic.
Where the magic...
And it's just really been very fun.
It's like the last thing I heard is...
The music that's been written has been epic. Really incredible musical theater style type of songs.
It isn't that I'm ungrateful for all the things that I've earned.
Twilight is a fun, quirky character. She's got tons of personality. I love being able to be the singing expression of her character, because she's got so much depth.
What my role is meant to be.
I love that on My Little Pony, we did some big musical featured episodes, like song episodes.
I am Pinky, the bestest party pony around.
They're essentially like little mini musicals, so like 5 or 6 songs in one episode.
Winter wrap up, let's finish our holiday cheer. Winter wrap up, 'cause tomorrow spring is here. 'Cause tomorrow spring is here. Every pony has times in their lives.
And we create this really fun kind of musical theater storytelling experience. And we've done one of those almost every season, and that's something I'm particularly proud of.
When I started out, I was unsure. I thought I knew all that I needed. Didn't know what to expect.
The actors on this show are incredibly talented singers, which is such a blessing. And so they do get the songs in advance to practice to. They practice at home, they come in super prepared, and we get really down to the details of the performance that way.
Our friendships weave together stronger.
The music process on My Little Pony is pretty similar to a lot of shows. We start talking about the songs very early on when the scripts are coming in. I think they're planning, like, where can we put some nice feature musical moments throughout the series.
And the greatest spell you'll know.
The songs are recorded with the rest of the dialogue so that they can animate to the songs.
Each one of us has something special that makes us different, that makes us rare.
I usually start songwriting with a very simple structure. So it'll just be piano, basic melody, and that's enough to send to all the rest of the creative team and have them give their input. And then from that point, we start adding the layers, and that's where, you know, we put in more voices and add the orchestra and all the guitars and all the instrumentation until the day that we come here and we record the actual cast. We've been very lucky on My Little Pony to have these incredibly talented guest stars appear and sing songs. So, like, we wrote a song for Felicia Day, John Delancey, and this season, Weird Al comes back.
If you want laughter, then stick with cheese. Accordion solo!
He does his, like, reunion song, which is amazing as well.
This is where the magic happens. Best friends until the end of time.
When I was a teenager, I always wanted to be a pop star. When I saw the result of doing a song and having it turn into basically an amazing music video, it's so cool to be a part of that. And like the little girl in me is going, I'm a pop star.
Friends can change the world. Friends can change the world.
I don't want it to be over. It's weird. So, like, thinking about some of these song sessions and how I wanted to pull my hair out a lot of the time. And now I'm like, I'm never gonna have that again. Oh.
Yeah, I like that one.
That'll work?
Yep.
My sister and I have ruled this land for quite some time, but even we know that change eventually comes to us all. And though we know it can be unsettling, it's as natural as the rising and setting of the sun and the moon.
I think it's been a real honor to be able to end the show properly, not just have it stop, but give the characters and the world a bit of a proper send-off, maybe see a little bit of where the characters will go in the future, and say goodbye to characters that we've been with for 9 years.
Now that this show is wrapping up and it's going to be over, I have stockpiled ice cream in my freezer, and I've got some jammies, and there may be some crying.
The thing that I'm the most proud of is that we've been able to reach so many people around the world with our positive messages about friendship, teamwork, and love.
And I can't reiterate enough how grateful I am for the people who love the show and kept it living for so long. It's kind of a dream come true.
It was a little bittersweet knowing that it was going to be the last season, and I've already spoken to fans at cons who are both devastated and satisfied that it's going out with a bang, and they appreciate that the show's been able to maintain this level of intrigue and entertainment for them.
I think My Little Pony will leave a legacy of just really high-quality children's programming. I mean, it sets a bar very high on so many levels, whether it's the storytelling, the animation, the depth of characters, and I think that that's something I'm really proud to be a part of, and I think we've created something really special.
It's like the end of an era. Or the beginning of an even more awesome era.
All I know is whatever comes next is going to be perfect.
This might be a once-in-a-lifetime thing. I mean, it's rare that you get to produce a show that hits like this one has.
I'm really proud of the reach it had. I think everybody was surprised.
And that's how Equestria was made.
A show like My Little Pony is a show that only comes along like maybe once in your career, and it's rare to be able to work on a show that amazing for that long.
You never expect a job to go more than a season or 2 seasons. 3 seasons is a success.
There's a way of telling stories in My Little Pony, and there's a heart that you put into it that you put into every show you do after that. I don't know that it will ever reach the heights of My Little Pony, but it's something that I think we're all going to try and do.
It's so rewarding to be a part of something that's so beautiful. When I watch the show, I just feel so proud to be a part of it.
The fandom was so unexpected. That's going to last and have a long life because it made an impact on so many people.
Every time I look at the show or a billboard or any kinds of merchandise, you see the ponies and you have to smile. And knowing that it brings happiness to people all over the world is such a rewarding thing.
Yay. Ugh, you're gonna cheer for me like that? Louder. Yay.
Ugh. The thing I'm most proud of about Friendship is Magic I'm proud that I could make a show for girls that was something legitimately entertaining to watch and wasn't talking down to girls or stereotyping them.
My little pony, my little pony.
Lauren is an incredible creative steward. She really led the charge in the beginning of Friendship is Magic. Now we have 4 films, music albums, TV specials, and an ongoing digital series on YouTube. And our spin-off series, Equestria Girls, launched in 2013 as a movie. Now coming up next is the new all-CG My Little Pony movie, the second one, and we know that everybody is gonna love it. And we have a lot more things in store for the franchise. Stay tuned for lots more My Little Pony content.
How the magic of friendship grows.